Like I mentioned earlier, today we saw a little movie. You might have heard of it. It's about to break a bunch of records. Spider-Man: Far From Home. So first, we're doing a non-spoiler, review. So if you haven't seen the movie, we're not going to spoil it, but we are going to talk spoilers. In a little minute, we'll let you know. So just keep your ears peeled for when we're going to start talking spoilers. There's time codes in the description below, so you can skip to the next story after that. But for right now, this is the non-spoiler review discussion, mini discussion. So let's get into it. Josh, what did you think of the movie without spoilers?
Oh, without spoilers. Okay, so I like the movie. I do like Spider-Man: Far From Home. I think. Actually, no, that's not true. I was about to say, I think it's better than Home. I don't think it's better than Homecoming. Mm-hmm. The beginning of the movie just kind of really dragged me, and it didn't really feel like a Spider-Man movie. I mean, of course, there was Spider-Man-y-esque things like, Spider-Man was doing stuff.
That's not big.
But I don't know, this. This is one thing that really bothers me about Marvel films, and this has bothered me for a while. I don't understand their obsession with injecting comedy into literally everything. Right off the bat, the beginning of the movie, the first freaking frame, jokes, laughter, haha.
The first
and it's supposed to be
the first frame of the movie was not laughter, I'd say.
Which way?
I'm
trying to think of what the first frame of the movie was. Hold on a second. I literally just saw the movie
without
too,
spoilers, Mexico. Without spoilers.
Okay, not that. Okay, when they get to the Peter stuff. Okay, let's just say that, because I don't want to spoil anything. Literally from that frame, from the beginning of that frame, jokes and laughter and things like that. And I'm just and it's supposed to be a serious thing. At least I took it as a serious thing, considering the context of what we were looking at. And I was just why are you why does this need to be funny? I don't understand it. I don't understand Marvel's infatuation of interjecting comedy into into these moments that are supposed to be serious. That just really bothers me. I thought Mysterio was great. I'm gonna go to the positives now because I've been shitting on the movie for the past 2 minutes. But no, I thought Mysterio was great. The way he is brought to life on screen is just chef's kiss. It's perfect. There's some things that he does in this movie that I was just yo, this is
it's mysterious. This movie is the perfect representation of what a comic book is in a way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's I want to talk about this so bad. Let's see. I thought Tom Holland did a fantastic job as Peter Parker. As the MCU's going on, he's quickly becoming more and more of my favorite Spider-Man, because right now my favorite Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield, even though I understand that people aren't really big fans of the Amazing Spider-Man films. I get that, but I do. I like those. I like one and a half of those movies. The second half of Amazing Spider-Man 2 is dog shit. I'll say that anyway. But yeah, no, one kind of not worry, but something that I was a little, I don't know, concerned about, I thought about, was the fact that in the promotional material they've been talking about, the next Iron Man and this and that, and I was worried that they were gonna try to go that route to where Peter has to step up and become the new Iron Man, and they didn't do that here, and I really appreciate that. See, the things that I want to talk about that are spoiler are
right. This is a very hard movie to talk about, considering number one, there's a lot of spoilers in this movie. Number two, we just came out of the theater.
Yeah, I'm really kind of struggling to mention things that aren't I mean, okay, is this considered a spoiler? The whole Ned thing?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, the whole thing with Ned, and what's that girl's name? Dude, that was hilarious. I don't know why, but I found their entire relationship during that trip was the funniest thing to me, because I remember when I was that with a particular girlfriend and was just okay babe, hey babe, hey babe, I just found that so freaking hilarious.
And you would think it would wear out, because it's an entire bit throughout the movie. You would think it would wear out at some point, but it doesn't. It just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, no, I every single time they were on screen, they're being all lovey-dovey, and he was just super whipped or whatever. I was just this is hilarious. I just found it so funny because it was relatable. Look at that. Let's see what else. I will say this though, like I'm pretty sure everyone who's seen Far From Home has seen Avengers Endgame.
Oh yeah, you have to
like,
see Avengers Endgame to see this movie, pretty much.
yeah, but like you can tell that the death of Tony Stark didn't just affect people in the United States. Like it was
Worldwide
a worldwide
thing,
thing. Like literally every establishing shot or every other establishing shot, there was like a mural of Iron Man. It didn't matter what country you were in or wherever they were. You always saw a mural of Iron Man, and you could like feel his that he's not there anymore. And I just found that really really interesting because it's the character that kickstarted the MCU for it to become this huge thing, and he's gone, and you feel that. And you see Peter kind of wrestling with it throughout the entire movie, and that's all I'm going to say from that now because I don't want to get into I feel like I'm tiptoeing.
I fucking love this movie with all my a lot of people are saying the first half is but the second half is great, is phenomenal. I love.
I would agree with that.
I love the first. The first act was very much in line with what we've seen in Spider-Man: Homecoming. And Spider-Man: Homecoming, I'm gonna say this right now, it's in my top 5 MCU movies probably. So I very much love the tone, but there's a certain point in the movie, and like it's about halfway through, like it just shifts, and like everything's like, oh, okay, we're here now. Like it's like Mysterio is probably like this is like something I've been wanting to see for like 14, 15 years, like on screen, like so many crazy ass shit like happening throughout. But we'll get into this spoiler discussion. Jake Gyllenhaal was phenomenal. Tom Holland is probably my favorite Peter Parker Spider-Man. He just embodied the role, and I really do think this kind of is a great ending for Phase 3, in a way. Like this is very much an extended epilogue for Endgame. I think like it deals with the death of Tony Stark. Endgame really does play the ending of the ending of Endgame really does play a part into Peter's journey throughout the film. And that really affects, who he is throughout the movie and who he could become. And I just loved how he feels like this isn't really a spoiler. It's kind of in the trailer, but he's like the world needs a new Iron Man. He doesn't want to be that new Iron Man, and so in a way we really start to see Spider-Man come into his own in this one. And I really loved it. I want to talk spoilers, but do you have any other non-spoiler points you want to make?
I will say this, Peter kind of dealing with the death of Tony Stark and kind of like the pressure that came with being a superhero around this time, and people kind of looking for someone to kind of take his place or fill his shoes. Like when he was standing in, this is not a spoiler, but when he was like standing in front of like those people and he was like kind of like freaking out, it gave me like heavy like Iron Man 2 vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Like when Tony had like PTSD
you mean Iron Man 3?
Through like all the stuff he went through in New York, like it gave me those vibes, and I was just like, wow, I was like, man, like he's really going through it, like I was just like I just really like that.
And so. I thought the humor, I really appreciate the humor. It's like nice and very like funny. Like Marvel, like these are very much popcorn movies. Like you're gonna have a good time regardless. So I really dug the humor in this movie. Like I said, the first half,
I thought the humor was way too much. Like they put it in places where it didn't belong.
I mean humor is subjective too. So yeah. I mean, it's but
Yeah, there's no right or wrong way to do humor.
It's all about it's all perspective really. But John Favreau is great as Happy Hogan once again. He always brings his A game. I love the Happy Hogan character. And there's so many like nice conversations between him and Peter that really just like touch you right there. No, not that way. In the heart. They touch you right in the heart. They touch you in the heart. Nowhere else.
There you go.
Nowhere else. Nowhere else. But for me, Mysterio like almost stole the movie for me without going to spoilers. Jake Gyllenhaal was fantastic, as always.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Jake Gyllenhaal is definitely one of my favorite actors, and I remember I think I mentioned this on the podcast, or I mentioned this in the chat or whatever. I was just like, man, I just feel like Jake Gyllenhaal is just too good for this Mysterio role. But like, no, like he brought it.
You guys have no idea if you have not seen this movie. You have no idea. Like they I'll just say they did it right. They did it right. They got it. And the fishbowl works, guys. The fishbowl works.
Freaking works, man. Who would have thought back in like 10 years ago, like, yo, they're gonna have Mysterio on a Spider-Man film, and he's gonna have a fishbowl head, and it's gonna look nice, and like, oh, stop lying. Like, that looks so good,
it looked
man.
Great. I loved it. But all right. So we liked the movie. That's non-spoilers. Let's get into the spoiler discussion. If you've not seen Spider-Man: Far From Home, we're talking about other topics. Just check the time codes in the description. Just jump to one of those. But you've been warned. If you have not seen the movie, just click away or something. I don't know. But let's get into it. The spoiler discussion for Spider-Man: Far From Home. Fucking Mysterio and those fucking illusions. I've been wanting to see those for 14 years. They were the best scenes in the movie.
By far. Like, I was hoping you would mention that. Like, that was by far my favorite sequence in the movie was the illusion sequence. Just like, it was just really
it was
well
so
done.
well
like,
done. It was like trippy and everything.
Like it was trippy and like it was, like it was just really well done. That's really the best way I can like put it. It kind of reminded me of that the sequence in Doctor Strange when the Ancient One kind of
sends
like like puts her thumb or sends Doctor Strange on that trip, and like it was just
like
beautiful.
the Iron Man grave and then Iron Man coming out of the grave. That was a little bit creepy.
Yeah, no, I was really. The thing is, I knew that they were gonna do something like that. Like they were gonna have some sort of like Tony or Iron Man-esque like dream thing that they were gonna throw into the movie.
And like those piles of Spider-Mans, everything. It was nuts. And like the fake outs of like what's real, what's not real. It like messing with Peter's mind. It's something.
It was messing with my mind.
You had like you think the
once...
bit's over when Nick Fury shows up. Nope, it keeps going and going and going, and then.
Yeah, he shoots Quentin Beck in the back, and everybody shows up, and I was just like, damn, I was just like that, and then he's just like,
nah, it's still an illusion.
It's still going, and he gets hit by a train, and I was just like, yo,
man,
okay.
And the way he like in the tunnel towards the end of the movie, in London, when he's fighting off the drones, like he's trying to push through the illusion. That scene was awesome. Like I fucked with that scene so hard. Like
you want to know what? The scene visually was great, but you know what really pissed me off? Alright, come on, Peter Tingle.
Oh,
fuck that. Just call it the Spidey sense. Jesus Christ, why do you have to turn it into a joke? Please stop. Like that would be perfect time where he was just like, alright, like I'm gonna name this thing. Like, no, I'm not gonna keep calling it the Peter Tingle. That's so stupid. Who wrote that?
The writers.
Stop it. Don't do that. That's bad. Yo, come on, Peter.
I didn't mind
it. Like it was cute. It was cute the first time when his aunt said it, but like, come on now. Like, please stop. Just call it the fucking Spidey sense, whatever you want to.
Yeah, I love.
That's another thing. The comedy. Right. Damn it. Stop it.
When they kind of did the twist. Towards the middle of the movie, like I said, like right when the twist comes that Mysterio is in like it's a fake out and everything in the bar. Right when Peter gives the glasses to Mysterio, like right when that moment hits, it kind of like shifts the entire movie in a way. Like it becomes like awesome, and like you learn about the plan. Like you learn, get this ridiculous costume off me and everything.
Yeah, although I would say that scene was just like exposition out the ass. Like I felt like it went on just a little bit too long, and it was just, I don't know. Like I got a weird vibe from the scene. Like I understood the reasoning for the scene. Explaining.
You kind of had to explain, what you had to explain to the common audience, like not the common audience, but like the non-reader audience, like what's actually happening. Like why is Mysterio doing this? In a way, he's a master illusionist. Yeah. And I thought using tech, like Stark tech and everything, was a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, you didn't have to bring back the guy from Iron Man 1 and everything. Like I felt like that kind of pushed it a little too much.
Yeah, like, oh look, it's been connected all along. Like we're all Stark Industry misfits.
But I thought like they even had Jake Gyllenhaal in a motion capture suit, which was really.
Yeah, I actually really like that, because I mean that's always kind of been Mysterio, where he's created all these illusions and these elaborate spectacles, and he's been like kind of like a Wizard of Oz type deal, where he's got all these amazing things, but you pull back the curtain, and it's just a regular dude. And I thought having him in a mocap suit and like kind of like I thought that was great. Like when we say that Mysterio was done well, like he was done.
He was done like
perfectly
in terms of the
to me.
modern like day. He was done perfectly. Like obviously you can't have him just be like a visual effects guy. Like it's got to be like something modern. And like this is as close as it got because he was essentially putting on a show, which is pretty like I said, spot on to what Mysterio actually is in the comics. But yeah, the scene I was talking about with Happy Hogan, it was on the jet, uh, after after he picks up Peter from the Netherlands, I believe, and he's like, Tony wouldn't have given you. I'm pretty sure Tony wouldn't have done what he did if he knew something was going to happen to you or something like that, and like the nice nods to the callback to the first Iron Man. He's like, I'll handle the music, and it's the song from the very first Iron Man, the opening song, Back in Black, AC/DC. I love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, well,
But and then like we see Peter working on the tech, and then Happy just like watching, like giving a nod, like that's such a that really got me. Like I was like,
let me ask you a question. Do you think that the MCU Spider-Man relies too much on Tony Stark's tech and doesn't like, I don't know, figure things out on his own? Because I like during that scene was cool, but I got that vibe. It's just like, oh, he's using more of Tony's stuff.
I kind of
Peter's always kind of been somebody who's done
on
things.
his own.
He's been he's done stuff on his own. He's kind of
I thought-
I don't know. I feel like he's kind of using the Stark tech as like an
I feel like in Homecoming it
some
almost went there, but they stuck with the his crappy homemade suit, the hoodie suit at the end of Homecoming. I thought it was going there in Homecoming. I thought it started to get like a little too much relying on Tony Stark's tech in this movie, just a little bit. And I hope they don't do that in the next one. Like I just kind of want him to be like on his own, like fully. And I feel like we'll get that in Part 3. Like you can't always rely on Tony Stark's shadow tech, like as moving forward.
I mean, like, oh yeah, he's in the Netherlands. I forgot the name of that place. But like, oh, I'm in trouble. Oh hey, come pick me up in your super fast private jet. All right, bet I'm there in like 10 minutes. Oh, I need a new suit. Let me click this button that Tony Stark built to have this super awesome, like intricate machine that makes suits, and I happen to have all this stuff on Spider-Man suits, and I have like multiple suits, and I don't know if you saw, but the OG Iron Spider suit was like in like that hologram line.
Like you saw the arc reactor and everything.
But yeah, I found that to be like a little
nod.
Meh. I was just like I said, it looked cool, but I just feel like he's relying too much on Tony's tech.
I mean, I thought also one thing I really appreciate about let me
ask you a question. What did you think of the whole like MJ?
Yeah, I was just about to get there. In
romance
Homecoming,
thing? Because for me, it kind of like came out of nowhere. Because like there was no hints in Homecoming that he had feelings for her, and then he just pops up, bam, yo, dude, I really like MJ. Like, where did this come from?
I thought MJ's. I did not like MJ's role, going in like in Homecoming. Like I thought she was kind of like a bit misfit. Like I just thought she seemed a little off, and like I don't know why she was there, but basically, I was saying they did need some bridge building in terms of why Peter and MJ were kind of into each other, but like I kind of put the pieces together in my head. Like they both kind of came across as socially awkward people in a way, because Peter has to like always like move out of the way because he's Spider-Man. He's always leaving and all that. So I think that's why they ended up together. Maybe that's why they saw each other.
See,
as like,
and I totally get that. But Peter's been gone for 5 years. No,
so is she.
Yeah, they've
so
both been gone for 5 years, and then he comes back, and this takes place within like the first like week or so. Like because Kevin Feige said this takes place directly after Endgame.
Well, no, they've actually established in the movie that this takes place a couple months after Endgame.
Yeah, so like all of a sudden he's got like this freaking raging crush for MJ, like somebody he doesn't really talk to all that much. Like I'm sorry, I just don't really buy that. Like I buy her having a crush on him. I buy that because we got hints of that from Homecoming.
But
he never showed interest because he was all over Liz, and like all of a sudden,
and then she moved.
Yeah, I don't. All of a sudden he's just like, oh, MJ, like I'm gonna ask you to marry me or some shit. Like I was just like, all right.
Like he playing everything with the black
Black
flower, the
Dahlia,
black dahlia,
like
or
the
whatever.
murder.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
But
Dude,
I mean, you could just kind
why?
of yeah.
I don't know why, but I sound so funny that like with Peter with like his stealth suit, they just call him Night Monkey.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was great.
Like, what's his name? Night Monkey.
Night Monkey.
Oh, okay.
Night-
Yo, Night Monkey. I don't know. I just found that
Monkey,
really
help
funny.
us. But yeah, I mean, I really dug. I dug the relationship in the movie, but like I said, they kind of needed some bridge building as to why Peter got into her. I get why MJ started getting into Peter, and they established that in Homecoming. But they did need some bridge building in this one. I really like the teacher characters. The one from Homecoming returns, and then the Mr. Dell. I think the the one who's like witches. These are witches.
Yeah. I forget his name.
But yeah, I think it was Mr. Dell or something like that. But I like this Flash Thompson. He kind of gets a little annoying at times, but towards the end, I think there was that nice little moment where you kind of feel bad for him when like they're getting picked up by the airport, and the driver's there, and he's like, "Oh, is mom coming?" And the driver's just like, "No."
Yeah, I was actually gonna
Like,
mention that. Like, and this was, and you got like a hint of it like earlier in the movie because whenever Peter's using what's the name of the glasses, the AI.
Edith.
Whenever he's using Edith and he's like looking at all like everyone, you see a text from Flash to his parents going, "Hey, I haven't heard from you or mom in a couple of days. Like, what's going on?" And I was just like, "Dang, like the dude's like low key neglected by his family. That's
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah,
I actually did not notice.
yeah, and
that.
I was just like, man, I was like that actually really sucks. But yeah, I do you think that that's like gonna play into anything, or do you think that was just kind of like
I gotta assume it's gotta play into something because why would they show that?
yeah.
Like especially towards the, like why would they focus on is mom coming? I was like no. So, I don't know. They would have taken it out if it wasn't gonna leach something. I'm pretty sure they have a plan for Spider-Man 3. Also, one thing I also gotta bring. I know you're not supposed to like that other kid, the one that's also in it. I forgot his name, Brad or something.
I think
You're
his name
not
is
supposed
Brad.
Yeah, I guess that's good because I really like you're not supposed to like the guy that the hero is after and all that in terms of love interest, but I just thought this Brad guy was just a dick. I really did not like him one bit. Like they said, oh, he's the nicest guy. Oh, he gets all the girls. No, this dude was a dick.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, no, I wasn't.
really did not like him.
Like he took a picture of him. He was just like, man, I like MJ too, bro. I gotta tell him the truth. And I'm just like, I actually knew a guy like that in high school, and he was kind of a chode. So like I was just like I've seen people like you before, but yeah, no, he was kind of an ass.
Yeah, I did not like him one bit.
How did you crap? Where was I going with that? So that guy Dimitri, I feel like
Right.
he's somebody.
A lot of people were like speculating that he was actually playing the Chameleon, which I don't think so at all.
Is the chameleon's real name Dimitri?
I believe so, Dimitri something.
Oh, to Google I go. Hold up.
But I never bought into that one bit. Like I was like, you can't really throw in Mysterio and then like the fact of post Endgame and then throw in the Chameleon in there. So like, I didn't buy that rumor for a minute. I didn't buy that rumor at all.
Oh my gosh. Yep, his name is Dmitry Anatoly Nikolaevich.
Was he Russian in this movie?
Smirnakov. I don't know.
I know he was brown in the movie, but was he speaking Russian or anything? Or did he sound Russian?
I don't think he spoke. I don't think he spoke
No,
at all.
he had a few lines, but I just don't remember.
Oh. I just remember
Or
him
maybe he
standing
thinks
at the
he-
bus and the teacher trying to talk to him, and he just gave him that dead look, like he was about to rip his throat out.
Yeah, that was great. I forgot. Oh, also, like the oh shit, I'm forgetting now. I thought. All right, let's talk about the post credits because I think the post credits were pretty wild. So the whole world now knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and the person to announce that is J.K. Simmons, reprising the role as J. Jonah Jameson. I thought that was like a fantastic cameo, and I thought that really does set up a third Spider-Man film pretty well, because now the whole world knows who Spider-Man is, and he's as J. Jonah Jameson mentions, he's a menace to the world now, because Mysterio was looked as a hero.
Yeah, I had the cameo spoiled for me like last week.
Oh.
So I knew about it, and of course with the fan screenings that they had last week as well. People are gonna record stuff and all that stuff. So I actually saw it, and I was just like, oh hey, that's cool. But from what I heard, it's literally just like a one-off. Like he's not gonna be in Spider-Man 3. It's literally just like a one-time thing.
Cameo.
Yeah, it's like a one-time cameo. And I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, maybe it doesn't make sense because it's just like, okay, so J. Jonah Jameson exists in this universe. He's played by J.K. Simmons, who played JJJ in the Raimi films. So it's just like, huh? So I'm guessing that's why it's not gonna be a full-on role, because like he's already done that role in a Spider-Man trilogy that has no connection to this whatsoever. So
I'm sure this was all like just in good fun. Like,
yeah, just fan
the
service,
producers,
really.
the producers are like, hey, this will be fun. Like, oh, who should be saying that he's a menace to the city? Should be J. Jonah Jameson. Who should we get to play him for this one quick scene? The guy who played him best.
Yes.
J.K. Simmons.
And J.K. Simmons kills that role. I loved him in like the very, 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 very brief footage that we saw him as Commissioner Gordon. But like he is J. Jonah Jameson. Like he
is. You can't strip that away from him.
He has made so many people fall in love with that character, and I'm like, I'm not gonna, anytime, I don't care like if you're gonna where you're gonna do it, just let freaking him play that character. He's just so good.
Yeah, like even in the 100th reboot, if you're gonna have J. Jonah Jameson, it's got to be J.K. Simmons. He just nails that role like so perfectly. But that was a fun little surprise, and I think that it does set up Spider-Man 3. And I guess Spider-Man. I just noticed Spider-Man is really the only Marvel hero in this cinematic universe to have his secret identity. Everybody knows each other. Everybody knows who Captain America was. Everybody knows who Falcon was. Everybody knows who Bucky was.
Everybody knows who Iron Man was.
Oh yeah, from the very first Iron Man movie, nobody really had a secret identity except for Spider-Man. So that's kind of taken away from it, and now he's branded as a villain, which would be very interesting for Spider-Man 3. But also, in the second post-credit scene, it's revealed that Nick Fury was not Nick Fury at all. It was the Skrulls from Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I know it feels like I've been shitting on this movie. I really don't. I'm not really shitting on it. I actually had a lot of fun with this movie, but that is such a stupid post-credit scene.
I'd rather take that. I'll be honest. I'd rather it was an okay post-credit scene, but I'd rather take that one, like the Skrull one, than an ant playing the drums. It's not the worst.
Let's just admit they're both freaking stupid. I mean, like, does after everything that Nick Fury has been through, I know he's been through a lot. Does he really seem the kind of person that's gonna be like, all right, well, hey, you two Skrulls, pretend to be top secret government officials working with Mysterio and Spider-Man and have access to all of this government stuff while I go on vacation. A guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes espionage. Does it really seem like he would do something like that? And then you find out that he's like hanging out with the Skrulls on some like distant alien planet? What? That's so stupid.
Looking for his shoes.
That's so I understand. Like, I don't care how big of a Marvel fan that somebody may be. You have to admit that is so dumb and completely out of character for Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really dig it at all. I thought they kind of hinted throughout the movie that something was a little off with Nick Fury, or not off, but like you could tell like it wasn't. I thought it would just be one of Mysterio's illusions. Mm-hmm. Nope, it's the Skrull from Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
I really do think like it wasn't a bad post-credit scene. It was very much like a throwaway one.
Yeah, because I mean, like some of the things that Nick Fury said, like it doesn't make sense that he was a Skrull. Because like remember he was talking to Spider-Man. He was like, "Bitch, please, you've been to space." How would that Skrull know that?
Yeah, no clue.
Exactly. Like come on. Like, where's the continuity? Where's the? I don't know. Use your brain, please. That made no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also,
maybe it was. Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say this about. It's gonna tie into Captain Marvel. So when Captain Marvel came out, one of the people's biggest problems with Captain Marvel was like, okay, yeah, the Skrulls are normally bad guys, and they're in this movie they're kind of seen as like refugees. They're looking for a new planet, and they're like, okay, well, since Captain Marvel took place in the past, maybe in like the present day MCU they're bad. Nope, they're hanging out on Earth, taking over for Nick Fury and Hill, and then freaking Samuel Jackson is chilling with them on a planet. Like, no, they're still good people. So I don't understand how like Secret Wars is gonna happen or anything like that. So
well, I don't know. Maybe I've always thought for a while, like when they announced that they were introducing Skrulls in Captain Marvel, like I never like a lot of people like jumped to the conclusion of Secret Wars. Secret Wars is happening. Secret Wars is confirmed. I never really saw it as that. I really just thought that the Skrulls were mainly going to be used in Captain Marvel, and whatever storyline they had in Captain Marvel for the Skrulls, that would be it for the Skrulls. Like, I just kind of saw it as that. I didn't. I would never think in my mind that Marvel or Disney or whoever would want to do a secret invasion, storyline for the movies. So I like when it was revealed that they were good guys. I was like, okay, so this kind of put the nail in the coffin that we're not going to get Secret Wars, and I'm not really mad about that. Like, I'm fine with it. But I get like how you'd want Secret Wars for a movie, like a storyline fans have been wanting to see for a very long time. But I don't know. I just never saw it as that. Like, I just, like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, secret invasion's probably not going to happen. Probably not.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Russos are going to be at Comic-Con in a couple weeks, so I don't know, maybe watch you say that, and then, like, in 2 weeks, so, like, Secret Wars. You're like, shit.
I mean, yeah, look, if they do Secret Wars, Secret Invasion, I'm down for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing on the idea of it. I'm just saying, like, I never saw it. I just never saw them doing Secret Invasion. Then again, I do want to point out, I never saw them do, Civil War. I never saw them bring Thanos to life. I never thought we'd see Mysterio on screen. Here we are today.
Mm-hmm.
So
anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. So I guess final rankings. I guess where does this rank in your personal MCU list, and what would you give it out of 10?
In my personal MCU list, it's probably it's in the middle, but it's toward like the upper middle. So it's like past like the Iron Man 2s and like Thor Ragnarok and stuff like that. Like I said, I do like Homecoming better. Just structure wise, because I never felt like bored in Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I gave like a 7 out of 10, something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not, like I said, it's not bad. I know. Like it seems like I've been like shit talking the movie for the past like.
Josh, you hate Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it sounds like I've literally just been shit talking the movie for the past like 15, 20 minutes. But no, like I really did enjoy the movie. There's just a lot that I didn't like about it. Which is to be expected because no film is perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, move over Spider-Man 2. Anybody who says that, stop it. No.
I mean, it's all subjective.
I don't see it. I don't know.
But so you gave it a 7 out of 10. I would say, I don't know, I really loved Homecoming, and like I said, I really loved the first half of this movie, and the second half is just phenomenal. Like, I thought the first half was very much in line with what we've seen in Far From Home. I mean, at least for my standards. But I think for now, it's definitely in the upper half of the Marvel films. Like, this is a very funny, very fun popcorn movie. You'll have a great time, especially if you're a comic book fan. This is a perfect follow-up to Endgame, I'd say. This really does kind of feel like the end of the Infinity Saga now. Like, I get why Kevin Feige says this is the end of Phase 3. This truly is the end of the Infinity Saga with Spider-Man Far From Home. I really do get that now. I really do. I don't know. I think I'd give it maybe an 8.5 out of 10. I do have some minor gripes. Like, yeah, I think the first half is great, but I think there's some. It just kind of felt a little choppy at times. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just feel, even though I really do like I said, I really dig the first half. I felt a little choppy. I did not like Brad.
Fuck Brad.
Fuck Brad. And I do think like the whole MJ Peter relationship needed some explanation. There were just some minor hiccups here and there. But yeah, I think it might be in spot number 6 or 7, maybe 8. I don't know. I'd have to like sit down and revise my list, I guess. But this is a very enjoyable sequel. It's a worthy successor to Homecoming. It's a very good Spider-Man movie, and it's just a fun Marvel movie as expected. And yeah,
definitely go see it. It's definitely worth like watching. It's
just for the Mysterio sequences. If you hate the movie, at least just see it for the Mysterio scenes. Like, those scenes are.
Oh my god, my chair is so loud. Jesus.
Mine is worse. Mine sounds
it's the
like
witches,
farts
man.
or something.
Shit.
It's the witches.
Shit.
But the Mysterio scenes alone are worth the price of admission for sure.